Hello, my name is Paul Spurlin. Welcome to the Paul Spurlin Show, Beyond the Mic. This is a podcast all about, just about anything and everything in ministry. All kinds of ministry, from church to family, marriage, raising kids, walking the walk, and much, much more. We will share the latest news, sports, current events, and what's trending and what's not. This is a show to share what all's going on in the Brotherhood, from lectureships, camps, conferences, and all other events. We're all about the search for life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. We seek to find truth, justice, and the way to Him. To keep up with what's going on with the Paul Spurlin Show, please follow us on social media, all platforms, at The Paul Spurlin, and on the website, thepaulspurlin.com. Send us an email at thepaulspurlin@gmail.com. We hope you enjoy this episode, and now, let's start the show. Welcome to the Paul Spurlin Show. Appreciate you so very much for being with us. This special midweek opportunity to talk and gap and philosophize. We're not philosophizing, but we're talking about some stuff and this special time. Thank you for taking the time out to be with us today. We are excited because we have an event happening on Friday in Montgomery, Alabama, and I had a little something I want to share with you. I was going to do it on the last show on Monday, but it's 30 minutes. I thought, let's go ahead and save it for another time. So here we are. So a little something about me. I mean, this is the Paul Spurlin Show. I started school out of high school, went to high school, graduated in a certain year in a certain place up in Arab, Alabama. And I graduated, and so went to Faulkner University, went there for about a year. It's a long story. Won't get into all of it. Was there for a year. Enjoyed myself in a Christian way. Don't get it wrong. I mean, I partied in a happy way. Didn't do anything too crazy. Just didn't apply myself like I should. Went into the Navy for 3 years. Some of the best 3 years of my life. I learned a lot, gained a lot, traveled a lot, and so that's where I lived in Philadelphia for a while. And also in Chicago. And so spent some time in the United States Navy and enjoyed that. When I got out, my dad had what was called multiple sclerosis, and he wasn't able to stand anymore. So he was preaching from a wheelchair. And so that was kind of cool that he continued to do so regardless, which is kind of neat. His name is Bob Spurlin. A lot of folks come up to me and ask me, are you related to Bob? I'm very related to Bob Spurlin. He's my dad. Love him dearly. He's in paradise. We all good. But the church, the elders asked me if I would fill in for him when he couldn't preach. And so that kind of helped out in getting back to it. And once I did that, I did go back to school. I went back to a little place in Florence, Alabama called International Bible College, IBC. I was there when the name changed to Heritage. So there's part of my history there. And then finished, got my master's degree at Faulkner University in 2016. I hate that I said numbers there, but I did. And so a lot of Faulkner in my history, a lot of heritage in my history. But with the Faulkner University, they've always been a part of a lot of things we've done with our events like AIMCon and SEC and events on campus. Of course, now we have some great guys there doing the Legacy event on campus. Kudos to them. Appreciate the good work they're doing on campus at Faulkner. But there's a lot of things happening on campus. And so I had a chance to teach youth ministry there and make a big impact in the lives of students, college students there on campus. And so this weekend, myself and John Podine will be there Friday to talk to the Zorn Scholars, Bible majors on Friday. And I thought the best way to sort of talk about that and get into that is a really neat, really cool interview I had with Hunter Smith. Now, Hunter is the director of admissions at Faulkner. He just started a few months ago. And from what I hear, what I see, doing a phenomenal job. Well, at Exposure Youth Camp, he and I had a conversation. We had, if you think about really the first conversation for the Paul Spurlin Show. And so I interviewed him about Faulkner, about his interaction with the school, what attracted him to the school. And so he's got some really neat things. And so that's what today's about. We want to share about Faulkner University. And if you know anybody at Faulkner, tag this to them, let them know we're talking about them, because we do feel like it's a great school. President Mitch Henry, phenomenal guy, doing a great job, and just really appreciate the direction that Faulkner is going. And so this interview was from Exposure Youth Camp, but I'm sharing it with you now. Hope you enjoy it. And we'll talk about a few things at the end of this.
Welcome to the Paul Spurlin Show. Go to our website at thepaulspurlin.com. Send me an email at thepaulspurlin@gmail.com. And I'd love to talk to you about anything and everything ministry. Also, go to Ministry League at ministryleague.com. Check out the app. Appreciate you for doing that. And if you will, also go to Piedmont Road Church of Christ at lifeinchrist.com. So many resources that we have to share with you as well. And we'll share some more URLs for you and so many other things in just a few minutes. But today is a special day because we are at Exposure Youth Camp. And we are about to introduce the director of Faulkner University's admissions department. I say we're fixing to. I'm doing it right now. Hunter Smith. I don't know that Hunter and I before this weekend has ever met, but we definitely knew of each other.
Yes, sir.
Definitely know people that we are married to, you or others. Shout out to Jason. What's up?
Yes, sir.
Like that. So Hunter, welcome to the show.
Good to be here. I'm excited.
Welcome to Exposure Youth Camp.
This has been awesome. My first time being in Exposure. It has been a blast.
Okay, tell me about it. What's going on? How's the reception for Faulkner over here?
Man, we've got a lot of people come up and talk to us, interested about Faulkner, those who heard about Faulkner, those who haven't heard about Faulkner, just being out of the area, out of the state. And just want to know about what they have over there for us, and being able to push our new nursing program has really brought some interest in. And of course, the Bible department's always big for them. Having our Bible recruits over there really pushes it. We've had a lot of good faces, met some great youth ministers, and hoping to meet a whole lot more too.
Oh, good. These guys are awesome. These youth ministers here this weekend. You could I said it earlier, you just see it in their eyes.
Oh yeah.
They're there for ministry, and it's great. Of course, we got the Zorn Scholarship. I'll let you talk about that later if you want to. But I just got to ask. I know you attended school at Faulkner. What brought you originally to the greatest university, Christian university in Southeast?
Right. So my story back with Faulkner goes back to high school. The theater teacher at ACA, which I went to high school at, was the theater professor at Faulkner, and of course, I wanted to follow and keep on learning from her.
Huh.
And because going to Faulkner, I met some of the best friends of my entire life. Through those friends and connections, I met the love of my life.
There you go.
And working 3 years in college administration, working in admissions and recruiting and for the nursing program at AUM, it's really helped me understand what it means to help kids in their path of life. And now that I get a chance to promote Christian education, which is so important nowadays, that is so important. And so to be able to show them the availability of what Christian education has for these students, whether they're of their faith or not, it's so important. It's so nice to see, well, man, I'm so interested in this, and their faith can grow wherever they are in their life.
Man, that's awesome. I also attended Faulkner, 2 or 3 years before you did. Um, okay, more than that. But anyway, but I was waiting for him to push a button, like laugh at me or thumbs down or something, but it's okay. A big shout out to Caleb Sampson. Thank him for producing the show, making it happen. So when I went, it was all about the clubs.
Mhm.
It was all about the people. It was all about the classes and the stuff. And it hasn't changed.
Hasn't.
It's the same, and it's like a big family. And I will give you a warning, a shout out type warning, that if you do not like a small, intimate, being able to know people and be a part of a family atmosphere, and that love Jesus, then don't go. I'm just saying, because it's that way.
It is.
Everybody knows everybody,
Mhm.
and that can be good or bad. But I'm telling you, it is. It's a family atmosphere. The staff love you. It's
Mhm.
just about that, all that. What's a message that you would share with, you're here, you're talking to students. What are you telling these folks? What are you telling them? This is the place. Faulkner University is your next home. How do you
Right.
do that?
It's the community that I try to share. Like it's just like you just said, the relationships you make with people, the relationships you make with professors and administrative out there. It's relationships you'll keep and memories you'll make for life. And
Right.
it's just you'll have those connections. People I've seen here that I haven't seen in years, and I still just go and talk to them like I've hung out with them yesterday. And that's the biggest thing. You'll be able to talk with your professors about what is going on with my grades, how can I make this better, or what's going on in my life personally, what can I do to help my life.
That's
Because
cool.
more than just having spiritual leaders out there, everybody out there has a connection with their faith, and they all have a story, they'll have a testimony.
Man, that's awesome.
And that's the biggest thing. As you come here, you're going to grow in this community, you're going to be a part of this community, you're going to be a part of Faulkner University, you will be Faulkner University. And when you get your degree and you go out into your vocation, you're going to represent Faulkner, you're going to represent Jesus, and that's the biggest we want from you. And you're going to 4 years in education, you're going to get it, you're going to do some great things.
That's awesome. And I'll tell you, some of my best friends are people I went to school with at Faulkner, still friends with, and all the alumni, we get together, hang out, things like this and other things like that, that they give you an opportunity to reconnect, and everything brings it back, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But we all of us that went, there was a reason why. So my question to you is, and you may not be ready for this question, but I'm going to throw it anyway.
Go ahead.
What sets Faulkner apart from everywhere else? What makes Faulkner so special?
Man, starting from just when I was recruited as a student out there, at the time, Neil Scott was the director of admissions. What a great guy. Shout out to Neil
Neil's
Scott.
awesome.
And he's off doing great things in the 2-year system in Alabama.
Right.
But that was the thing is he made it feel like home for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've born and raised in Montgomery. I was all about I got to get out of here. I can't be in this city. I know this city. I'm so sick of being in this city.
Yeah.
But to make it feel home away from home, even though I was 20 minutes down the road,
Mm-hmm.
was the biggest difference. I could go still get the college experience that I feel like I could anywhere else, you know? And of course, there's bigger universities and bigger campuses out there, but our campus is still big wherever you go. If you go to a football game or a basketball game, if you come in the springtime and you come to Jamboree is
man.
huge. It makes it huge.
Mm-hmm.
The clubs there, the programs they have here, everything there just makes it feel like home, and you want to feel safe at home.
Talk about Jamboree for a second, 'cause that was the highlight of our life.
Yes.
I mean, class is great, but this is a chance for people to, you got the team concept, you work with each other, you do stuff. Tell folks what that is.
Jamboree. So we have, as opposed to fraternities and sororities to other bigger campuses, we have social clubs on there. We have, at the time, I think we have 3 big social clubs right now. And those social clubs, both the brother clubs and the sister clubs, they will come together and they will put on a show. And all of the clubs will compete against each other in these one act type of shows. And every year they get a theme to make off the show. So I remember one year it was Disney shows. So the club that I was a part of, which was Sigma, we did Tarzan, and it was awesome. It was so much fun.
Cool.
All the fight scenes, the battle scenes, it was amazing. One of the clubs did Cinderella, and it was awesome. But it's so competitive too, man. They will get at each other, and they're fighting for all different kind of awards, from the spiritual award to best dress to best backdrop. It's just awesome, and you see the tears that come afterwards when the awards are announced. Like, man, we worked so hard for this. But overall, it's a great chance to come together again.
Yeah.
And if you don't know some of these people yet, this will be where you get to meet a lot of students and things like that, and where you make the most of your memories. It's
Man,
awesome.
that's awesome. It's great. We did Aladdin one year.
Did you?
It was every year was Disney when I was there in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was all Disney.
All Disney.
There was nothing else. Now they've evolved. They're doing
Yes.
different things now, obviously, because the music's getting better. But yeah, for us it was always Disney. So we did Aladdin and some other things. But you mentioned being from Montgomery. That has got to help you.
Oh yeah.
With being the director of admissions. Where'd you graduate high school?
Alabama Christian Academy.
You mentioned that. Okay, Alabama Christian Academy. So how do you find ways to connect to all these other schools? Because they may say, well, where did you go to school? Alabama Christian Academy. It's a private school, great school, right there, right near campus at Faulkner, actually. And great people run that, but part of that have been for years. It's a legacy in of itself with the school, with Faulkner's school. But what do you do to connect with like the public schools and other organizations in the community?
Right. I think that's another thing that sets us up in our recruiting is we are very personable with these students. Like, we are always just constantly checking on these guys. Like, hey, how's everything going? How's your grades going? Is this getting picked up? How's your mom and them? Oh, your favorite color is this? Oh, you like Mexican food, don't you? Let's go to this Mexican restaurant right here.
All right.
That is the biggest thing, is being very
San Marcos.
Yes.
Let's go. I mean, come on.
The very cradle to grave is the biggest thing, because nowadays you have a lot of kids who unfortunately don't know how the college process works. And what our counselors are very good at doing is helping them through that process, not just for applying for school, but how do I apply for financial aid? How do I apply for housing? How do I apply for scholarships? How do I advance going on from high school? Because I've had mom and dad all my life. What do I do going on?
Yeah.
Being personable with them, having that personal relationship is huge.
Hmm.
And that's going back to just making it feel at home from the get go.
Yeah.
So, not only with the students, but also with guidance counselors, and of course, with our area, with youth ministers and parents,
Mhm.
especially. Having that personal relationship. I've made maybe 15, 20 connections now. They're in my numbers, including yours now, which
Oh,
that's awesome.
that's great.
To be able to come and say, hey, I want to come up and I want to visit your kids. I want to come take them out to dinner. Let's talk about Faulkner. At very least, they got a meal in their bellies, you
There
know?
you go.
So to be personable with them, to text them, to email them, hey, how's everything going? Are you okay? What can I do? And especially, what can I pray for you about too?
That's awesome.
It's huge.
It's the school. You get the degree, but you get the spiritual life. You get that Bible classic semester. You get those people that love Jesus that encourage you in your spiritual life just as much as your academic life.
Right.
It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
You touched on something a minute ago. I want to highlight because Faulkner has always been great at this, and I know they still do. I want to make sure folks know this is there. Do you host events for parents to where if they needed assistance with financial aid, the FAFSA terrible form that we had for years and years, do you have ways in which you can make it a little more simplistic for folks thinking about financial aid for school and things of that nature?
Right. Our counselors get well versed in talking about what I can explain to these parents because you got to tell the parents too. You got to tell them, hey, this is the school for you. What I have seen so far is our tours are huge because they walk them through everything. We meet the different people who work at these offices and what that looks like. We tell them, whatever their situation that they're in, we help them out with how a dependent situation looks like if you don't have a guardianship, if there is a divorce situation, how that looks like, and things like that. What is the best fit for you? Because, parents have to feel like their kids are going to be in a safe situation,
Right.
more than financially, but just overall, is my child, it's still their baby. Like,
Mhm.
is my baby going to be okay? Do I feel like I'm leaving them in safe hands? So if I was to meet the financial aid officer here when while I'm on this tour and they tell me everything that's going on, all my child has to do is this and this and this.
Mm.
My mom was on top of that. Like, have you signed up for this? Have you called Linda
Yeah.
Pines working in financial aid? Shout out to Linda Pines. Love that woman to death. But my mom would say, have you talked to Linda Pines? Have you paid your bill? Have you done this or that yet? That's the biggest thing. Again, it comes down to those personal relationships that go beyond just our office. Like, put them on those tours when they come down, come and seeing everybody, shooting out emails and things like that.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And having other events that come down when they come, like to football games and things like that.
Oh
Say,
yeah.
hey, look at the campus. This is where this is at. This is where that's at. And then alumni too. Alumni being friends with alumni, they also get the word out too. Like, there's where that's at.
Oh, yeah.
There's where I went there. So again, that personable experience, taking them on those tours, that's just what really sells the parents on. Oh yeah, this is where I want to go.
Man,
This is
that's
where I want
great.
my kid to go.
That is great. So I live in Georgia. So you know, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, near Atlanta, Georgia. I am a graduate of Faulkner University. I have my master's degree at Faulkner, and I'm very proud of that. Um, so John Podan and I do a few things together. We're buds. We live in Georgia, and over the last 20 something years, what's a tie? Over the last 20 something years, we pay close attention to the admissions department at Faulkner, the things that they do, how they set up what they do, especially for this event. This is a 27-year-old event, and John and I've been here for most of it. And the other events like that, we look and see the setup and see what happens here. And we obviously want to infiltrate in a positive way. That sounds like we're going to get them with a gun. That's not what we're doing. But let them know Faulkner's available. It's here. It's a good option.
Oh yeah.
What's the goal? What's the goal for the look? And by the way, great job this week. It looks awesome. Y'all had some separate events aside from the tables. You're getting people at the table all the time. If you're not here, you should be here. If not, call Hunter. We'll give you that information later. But what's the goals for the admissions department going forward in conquering the countryside?
Right. The name of the game is always still in college admissions. We got to get more people here, more people here, more people here. We got to sell Faulkner and sell Faulkner, but that's going to start with our faces being available, having a face out there, being attached to Faulkner, being welcoming to them too, welcoming them more than just sitting there and waiting for them, welcoming them over to us. Like, we had
Right.
cookies out there. Hey, do you want a cookie? Come get a cookie. Let's
Who
talk about
doesn't
Faulkner.
want a
What's your
cookie?
major, man? And even this, like, we have more than high school students here. We have middle school students here too. So let's ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
That plants it in their head.
Mhm.
And I say, in 5 years, when you're ready to apply for college, I want to see you applying. I want to help you out.
Yeah.
So starting them early and things like that. and just finding ways to attract them, telling them about our esports tournament that we had earlier this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much fun. We did have a winner for that. The dude is very good. I watched him play.
Yeah.
Could beat me in any video game any day of the week.
Huh.
Our mingle event was very, very good. They came and did some cornhole. They did they played some putt golf. We had some music going on. Got some more snacks. That's been awesome. And of course, again, pushing like, hey, we've got tours coming up. Hey, we've got jamboree coming up. Hey, baseball season's coming up. You want to come watch a baseball game? That they make the World Series a lot.
They do.
You know,
They do very well.
just being a welcoming face, because I get it. Like, you don't want to come to someone who doesn't seem like they want to talk to you. The hood seems like they're mad and things like that. Or so being available, being a shining face, being smiling, saying hi, how are you, is a huge difference maker, and that can make someone's day. I think the way we've got to set it up there, we've got everyone over there. Our student workers are over there mingling with students too.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving them a chance to show, what is it like being a student worker over there. We've got a Zorn scholar over there talking about the Bible department and saying, man, I just want to come talk to you about loving Jesus. Like, that's the biggest thing. Veteran counselors, some new counselors over there who are learning how this works. They've just been very, very smiley faces, and I love seeing smiley faces. I love that they are able to be smiley about Faulkner. Like,
That's funny. You
huge.
use the word smiley. That's funny. He knows. Oh, that's cool. So what's the big plans for this coming year? What's coming up that's exciting for us to be excited about when it comes to what Faulkner's involved in?
Right. Well, being more involved in churches and going down to churches and seeing these kids face to face is huge. Like, we're going to have to make, school visits and put our names out there, because name of the game is we got to show them that yes, there's public education, but we also have Christian education. That's it right there. That if we could push anything in this world, Christian education is so healthy for you in many ways. But also making those church visits, making those area-wide visits too, where you can meet more people, making friends with youth ministers, and taking them out, saying, hey, what can I do for your kids? What are your kids looking for that we can help them out? How can I serve you in your ministry to help your kids out? Because if I can't support you in your ministry, you can't do your job, and I get that. And we've got great other schools here, but Faulkner is still here.
Oh, absolutely.
I want Faulkner to be present to them. So the goal is, again, how can I reach Faulkner to you? How can I get you to come see Faulkner at the very least? And how can we grow this and grow this and grow this? I want to be able to take over Atlanta Highway, which is the road we're on in Montgomery.
That's right.
I want to go up and down the roads. I want to take over that shopping center that's down the road. I want to take over the old little Burlington Coat Factory that's there. That's now our College of Health Sciences. I want to keep on growing.
Which is
down
beautiful,
that road.
by the way.
Yes.
You got to go check it out.
Incredible. And our nursing program, our new program director is a retiree from Troy University. She's the bomb. Thebomb.com, and she's going to kill it over there. But I want to take over that road. I want it to grow because so many people have heard about Faulkner. I want to double our numbers within 5 or 10 years,
That'd
or
be
even
awesome.
5 years.
God, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So we're kind of towards the end here. What is some? If you want to share your email address and some contact information for the folks so they can get that from you, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
How
So
can they find you?
my name is Hunter Smith, and my email is hsmith@faulkner.edu. It's a pretty basic last name, but it's a good last name. And then my number is 334-386-7126. And I'm also on social media. A lot of our counselors start with the Soar With on stuff. My name would be Soar With Hunter on Instagram, on Twitter, all that good stuff. We're always sharing events. We're always sharing kind of activities we can share, financial aid pieces, everything like that. Follow us. We'll reach out to you. We're always open to you no matter what.
Awesome. Before you go, though, I do want to say Dr. Todd Brenneman was just here. He had to leave, but he is the dean of the Bible department. He was one of my teachers from a master's degree. He was the toughest guy I've ever had for a teacher, which makes me love him more now that I don't have to take him anymore. But he's awesome. If you have any questions or anything for the Bible department, you would probably know his email address as well. Is that something we could share? Or
it would be tbrenneman@faulkner.edu. Thankfully, our email addresses are fairly easy. Coming from some old universities, like, man, it's so hard to put numbers in and half up your last name, but it's pretty. So it's just tbrenneman@faulkner.edu. It's
Oh, that's great.
It's awesome.
Hunter, man, thank you.
Thank
you for doing this. Thank you for being a part of this today. Seems like there was something else about Faulkner I was going to ask you about, but I can't think of it right now. Maybe we'll share it for another show. But I will say, let me say this too. Like I said, me and Hunter, we just met this weekend. but I did do a little research, and this is not your first rodeo.
This is
You have done this. You did this at AUM as director of admissions.
over there. I was the nursing recruiter.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
for a certain department.
Yes, sir.
But now you got the whole shooting match.
Yes, sir.
They got a lot of pride in you, a lot of understanding and appreciation in what you do, what you can do, and I am excited to see what this will look like. I feel good. I feel good about you, about the school, and the direction we're going. President Mitch Henry, thank you very much for bringing this guy on and for helping us soar.
Soar Eagles. Yes, sir.
Soar Eagles.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot,
Paul.
Hunter.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate Hunter for being with us. We are not done with the show yet. We do appreciate Hunter for being with us. Caleb is still here. We're going to share a few things. I'm going to talk about a few things as we close this down. Again, this is a new podcast. I got a few different podcasts with someone and the Paul Show, but I thought let's just talk about things I care about. And so Faulkner University is definitely one of them. I started my college career there, and I ended my career there. Not my career, but my college career, and until I start the next thing. But I do appreciate the school so much. This is sort of the potpourri of things in ministry and life, in family, and so when I made fun of the name Smiley, Jason Green was my big brother in Kappa when I was at Faulkner, and his nickname was Smiley, probably because he didn't do it much. So he does though. He does. I'm just messing. I love that guy, but I do appreciate being here. Watch us and take note for us. We'll be out every week. Every week. We haven't decided what day or what year, but it's this year. But we're gonna go every week to share more things with you. A lot of things we'd like to share and be a part of with you when it comes to ministry, when it comes to family, when it comes to church, when it comes to life. For Hunter Smith. And for Caleb Sampson behind the glass, I am Paul Spurlin. This has been the Paul Spurlin Show. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Do this. So that was the interview we had at Exposure Youth Camp. Let me give you a little bit of context. First of all, big thanks to Hunter Smith and his entire staff for their presence there at Exposure Youth Camp. They're there every year, but really excited about the work that he does and is doing and will continue to do with those great folks there at Faulkner University. So contact them for any information, anything you need there for that. But to give you a little context, what was going on, I was saying hello to people that are walking by. If you have never been to Exposure Youth Camp, first of all, why? I mean, you need to go. But also, EYC.camp is our website. You can find us also everywhere on social media at Expo Camp. Check that out. But we were at the very beginning of the hallway, so going all the way down, everybody's walking by, they're talking to us, they're interacting with us, and we really enjoyed that, and I appreciated Caleb Sampson, our director of our podcasting network for Ministry League, in setting all that up, getting all that ready. Him and his staff, his boys, for that. It was great. But we're doing that again at CYC. So you set your calendars there. I think we're looking at 21, 22, and 23 of February. And we'll be there to do more live podcasting, and come see us, come visit with us. We'll share some stuff with you. Of course, we'll be introducing and promoting the Ministry Experience that's happening right here in Marietta the last weekend of April. So we're looking forward to that too. But back to the Faulkner thing. This is the week. We really appreciate, again, President Mitch Henry and his good work there at the school. And Montgomery was it was a home to me for a number of years. And I had family there, which helped out a lot. So, of course, I also worked on campus there at the University Church as youth minister. Enjoyed that time there, and also worked for Faulkner in teaching classes and things like that, youth ministry and other things too. And that's what's kind of bringing me back. Dr. Todd Brenneman and the Lads Leaders program is having me and John to come down and talk about different things in ministry. And that's some of the things we'll talk about on this show is, red flags in ministry, red flags in interviewing, but also just ministry in general. And how does it affect your life? What are some things that we can do to help you, encourage you because of the experiences we've had and some things we've learned and some things that we feel like will make you and all of us a better soldier of Christ and living that life. So definitely go there. Faulkner.edu is the website. Go there and check out the school and go make a visit. Set up a time for a visit. They'd love to have you. Love to put you on the golf cart and walk you around, drive you around the campus and spend some time with them, learn some stuff. A lot of new things going on there. A lot of new things. The new nursing school will be coming in soon, and so I know they're excited about that and many other things there. But this is the Paul Spurlin Show. I just got a text from President Mitch Henry. You are welcome. Well, we were happy to do this, and appreciate you for doing that. We'll get him on there soon. In fact, just to give you a little history, recent history, President Mitch Henry was supposed to be here at Piedmont Road at our area wide during the recent snowstorm. And because of it happening, we couldn't do that. So we are inserting him into part of our program for Ministry League. And so we're really excited to have him and Hunter and them here that last weekend of April. So keep that in mind. A lot of schools represented here for that event and other things too. What I'll probably do is next Monday, the next show, the next Paul Spurlin show, we'll talk a little more about the Ministry League experience and the Ministry League outset of what we do with Ministry League. I'll probably bring on a few guests. Caleb will definitely be here with me. May get a few more if we can. Just to talk a little bit about what Ministry League is, the definition of it. I find it sometimes, even my home congregation here, that they know what the resources are, but folks just want to know, what is it? What brings it together? What's the purpose? And just the short answer is the purpose is to help the brotherhood, is help people of Jesus with some resources. Definitely a lot of podcasts, and we'll get an update on all that too. So a lot of cool things that we'll talk about this next Monday. Looking forward to that. Leading up to the event at CYC, so that'll be cool too. And that's where we are on that. Don't forget, if you have questions, comments, anything, want to hear us talk about something when it comes to news, sports, the latest things that are trending, things that are not, all things, the potpourri of ministry is what really this is all about. Send me an email, thepaulspurlin@gmail.com, thepaulspurlin@gmail.com, and we will return with an answer. And we will share your stuff online. If you email us actually during the show, we'll communicate with you that way as well. And also right here, the show notes as you find us on Facebook and also YouTube. Go to ministryleague.com, check out the website, but also meet us on social media. If you have not yet subscribed to the social media, the YouTube channel for Ministry League, please do that. And also don't forget us on, I say Twitter. I have a hard time saying X. There's just something about saying X I just don't like. Surely Elon Musk could have come up with a better letter than that, like maybe a P or an S, or let's go with A. It's the first one. That's a good A, but then I won't go there. So anyway, Twitter, the Paul Spurlin. Go there. Or Instagram, the Paul Spurlin. And so, of course, the website, thepaulspurlin.com. A lot of things on there when it comes to podcasting, when it comes to my family, when it comes to my work, our work. And part of that is building stuff. I haven't even gotten into that yet. There's so many things. We'll get to it. We'll talk about it. But for today, thank you for being with me. Thank you for your support of Christian education, especially Faulkner University. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. But I really, really, really appreciate you for being here with us today. For Caleb Sampson, who is always with me behind the glass, doing awesome things. Thank you for that. And for this show, and for you, the listener, thank you for being with us. We hope you have a great day, a great week. We'll see you next Monday for the next installment of The Paul Spurlin Show. Take care, and God bless. Hello, my name is Paul Spurlin. Welcome to the Paul Spurlin Show, Beyond the Mic. This is a podcast all about, just about anything and everything in ministry. All kinds of ministry, from church to family, marriage, raising kids, walking the walk, and much, much more. We will share the latest news, sports, current events, and what's trending and what's not. This is a show to share what all's going on in the brotherhood. from lectureships, camps, conferences, and all other events. We're all about the search for life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. We seek to find truth, justice, and the way to Him. To keep up with what's going on with the Paul Spurlin Show, please follow us on social media, all platforms, at The Paul Spurlin, and on the website, thepaulspurlin.com. Send us an email at thepaulspurlin@gmail.com. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and now let's start the show.